Hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
Today we're going to be posting the pregnancy tag where we just answer a couple different questions about like pregnancy, cravings, all the good stuff that comes with pregnancy. And this is kind of to replace like a first trimester update, which I wish we could have filmed, but we didn't really know we were going to be back on YouTube at that point, so
we're past that.
Yeah, we're past that. So like this will be a good way to like answer some questions that like I would want to know about somebody if they were pregnant, so I think that would be kind of fun to do.
And some of these questions are coming directly from the comments.
Yeah, check back on our other videos. You'll see all these are most frequently asked questions for us. So we're just going to get right into it. It's pretty self-explanatory. So the first question is, how and when did you find out you were pregnant? You want to start?
December 29th.
December 29th. So how and when?
We bought the pregnancy test from Walmart.
From Walmart. A Walmart, like, out in the distance, like, nobody we knew would ever be at that Walmart.
And they had to open it up with the security thing.
Yeah.
It was in a box, like when you buy a video game.
So we did that secretly, went to go buy the test, and then we just took it back to, like, my house in Pennsylvania, because we were still home for winter break, like, from work. So we just, like, went about the rest of the day, and then we took it late at night. We both
went 11 p.m.
Yeah, we both went into my half-sized bathroom on the first floor of my house and just took it. No like crazy story about it. It just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then the follow-up question is, how did you feel?
It's a common theme. It just happened.
It just happened. The next question is, how did you feel? So I'm not even gonna lie. When I saw the two lines appear, I did start crying, which is a total Lauren move. If you know me, you know that checks out pretty much.
I think you hit me too.
That's a lie.
Oh.
Now that's spreading lies
I'm just giving them
YouTube.
what they want.
That's spreading clickbait on YouTube. We'll title this, My
Punches.
Fiance Punches Boyfriend in Face After Pregnant. No, so I cried like when I first saw the two lines just because it was like an overwhelming feeling, but then when I saw that he was super excited, I kind of settled down and I was like, why am I crying about this? I'm not like unfit to be a mom, so I got myself together.
I was low-key giddy, but we kind of knew. I kind of knew. I had like a feeling anyways, but we'll get there. Like it was like I knew, but it was almost just confirmation. Like
yeah.
It was like confirmed that we knew, but we knew, and we'll get there.
In this video?
I think.
Okay, well maybe we could just answer that at the end. We'll add that in as our own questions. How old were you? Both 23. I had just turned 23 like 3 days before.
Yeah.
So that's simple, self-explanatory question. How did you tell your partner? Well,
I was there.
His booty was squeezed in the half-size bathroom with me, so he saw it right away. Did you wait 3 months to tell people?
No.
Why or why not? So, did we wait to tell people?
No.
The majority of the general public did find out after 3 months about. Because I think
most people did find out after 3 months.
I think we announced it at like 13 weeks. So,
yeah.
I believe that was 3 months. I don't know. I can't do math real quick.
Yeah.
But a couple like funny stories of telling people. So we agreed that like my parents would be the first people to find out, just because I don't even know why.
You were their daughter.
I was just like, we'll tell my mom and dad first, and then like we'll go from there of like telling his family and both of our siblings and our closest friends. But I thought that was the plan, and I thought that was like going smooth as could be, because we told my parents like the day we said we were going to. Mm-hmm. All right, like I didn't know anything at this point. I'm just like, all right, first people checked, like let's go. Like the hardest people to tell are over. Now we just continue. Boy, was I wrong. Everybody and their mother pretty much knew. Not everybody, but a lot of people and their mothers, literally their mothers, Sid and Mama G.
So I wrote to my friend Dakota. He was in the military, and told him.
Army.
Oh, sorry, Army. Isn't that the same thing? So he's in the Army. I wrote to him and let him know. Of course, I knew he was gonna tell Sid, which is his wife, but I just knew. So it was just as long as it didn't get back to Lauren.
So
he
wait,
was the first person who knew.
but pause. We'll go into a story now with that. So Sid is my best friend from home. We've been best friends since 4th grade. She was somebody I knew I was gonna definitely tell before like the 3 months. That one I was like, all right, like I gotta tell her. I gotta like find a way to tell her because she lives in Pennsylvania. I lived in New York at the time, so I was like, I'm not doing it over text. Like I'll wait till I see her in person. And we saw her over Valentine's Day weekend because we were going to Georgia to see Dakota, yada, 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 whatever. So on the train ride home, the night we were going out to dinner with Sid, I was like practicing with Tommy how to tell Sid. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna say. At this point, I did know that Dakota found out, which I wasn't surprised at. But I was like, maybe Dakota didn't tell Sid. I don't know why I would have, like, well, actually he didn't tell Sid, but in my head, I'm like, maybe Dakota didn't tell Sid. There's a good chance, like, he might have kept it a secret, like, knows that I would want to tell her. So I'm practicing, like, this little script, and I'm like, Tommy, this is what I'm gonna say. Hey, Sid, did your snake of a husband tell you anything? And she would have been like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And then that, boom, I would have been like, bam, blah, 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 pregnant. Tommy starts laughing on the New Jersey Transit train, and he's like, you're gonna have to word it and say, no, your snake of a husband told her. And I was like, what? So
we got a couple days into February, I got a Snapchat from Sid that said, oh, I got 3 letters from Dakota. And I was like, oh, let me find out. I was like, I hope she didn't say anything to Lauren. So I called her and said, oh, like, did Dakota say anything? And she goes, well, I only got through one of the letters. And I said, okay, great. And then she's like, why, what's up? So then I just told her because she was on to me. So Sid knew. Then Dakota knew. But then my whole work knew, because like around Christmas time when people brought their kids in, they're like, oh, who's gonna be the next one to have a kid? And they're like, Tommy, and like, which was funny. But it's funny also because I'm the youngest one that works there, so there was kind of like a haha, and if you just knew, you knew. So I was like, I felt like obligated to let them know because, you know, the one girl who made a comment, I had to like say something. But if I didn't say it, come out and say it, I said it during Wine Friday to just her after everybody left, just to be like, haha, like, I wanted you to know that your comment, like, it's your fault, basically. So then a couple weeks later, minding my own business, and I'm at work with a vendor at a lunch, and it was like a bunch of women who worked at the vendor thing, me, of course, like the youngest one, and then my coworker, and then 2 other coworkers of mine that like were sitting around the table. And then like I didn't really talk because they were like talking about their middle-aged women things. Okay, I had nothing to incorporate there. So I'm just like sitting there, and then they said, "Oh, Tommy, what about you?" And then they're like, "Oh, he's engaged to be married. Oh my God, how old are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm 23." And well, I was like, "Well, the wedding's next year." And then they're like, "Oh, well, a lot could happen in a year." And I was like, "Sure, indeed, a lot can happen in the year." And I said, "Exactly." And we're actually expecting. And like the whole table was just quiet because it was like unexpected, because then the vendors were like, oh, like what? And then the people I work with were like, what? I was like, oh crap. Go back to work, and I'm like, well, I gotta tell everybody else because it's just gonna get around. So then I had to tell them one by one. So then basically, yes, my whole work knew, and then Sid and Dakota knew.
The next question is this your first? Yep. No, nothing else needs to be said.
I hope.
Number 7, do you want more? Probably eventually.
Only 2 more, I'd say.
Nope, because I don't like odd numbers, so it's either going to be 2 or 4. So you decide.
What about 6?
Too much. Number 8 is your biggest craving. I haven't had like any major cravings, except recently I've really wanted brownies, but Tommy refuses to go out and buy brownie mix and a pan, so...
It's the quarantine.
Whatever, it's fine. The next question is, what's the best part of being pregnant? I would say the best part of being pregnant is just knowing that in a couple months, like, there'll be like 3 of us. It'll be like a mini version of me and him. And I always said that me and Tommy were like a little family, but he's like, no, we're not. But now he agrees that because we have a kid that we will be a family, so I think that's my favorite part. What's your favorite part about me being pregnant?
Just the idea about being a dad.
Number 10 is what's the worst part about being pregnant? Honestly, there's a couple. I can't lie to you all. For me, I thankfully, what a lot of people probably say morning sickness for this, but I like had none, knock on wood. I'm pretty much past the point of morning sickness, but with pregnancy, you never know. So my worst part is, one, my like back pain has been so bad, and I've never ever in my life had back pain or like any sort of like muscle cramps or anything. So like that was really hard to adjust to. The second, I have a couple, like I'm just gonna list them off. The second is, old me used to be able to sleep through the entire night without having to get up and pee. Now I'm up every hour, if that. But I think it will train me to be able to be used to waking up in the middle of the night. And honestly, the last and the third worst part is like not being able to eat or drink what I want to. It's a very like superficial, like stupid thing, but it really, like, you don't notice how like often you eat stuff like lunch meat and sushi that like you just want so bad and can't have it. So that really does suck. Well, you find out the gender. What do you prefer? So we already know what the gender is. She's a girl. What do I prefer if I didn't know? I think for my first, I still would have wanted a girl. I would have been happy with a boy either way, but I always thought I would want a boy first and then a girl. But after thinking about it and now having a girl first, one, first time moms just go crazy shopping. Like, it's a inevitable thing. If you're a first time mom and didn't go shopping, let me know how, because I can't control myself, and I feel like I would be like less to do that with a boy. So I think like that's kind of fun. And I think it's perfect because she'll be our little flower girl at our wedding. Did you prefer?
I didn't have a preference, just as long as she is healthy.
Perfect. Number 12 is, do you have names picked out, and what are the stories behind them?
Yes.
Yes, so we do have her name, most likely. We're not telling the general public what her name is until probably she's born.
Probably.
Maybe like a week or so beforehand.
But if you know us, then you know us.
Yeah, like if you know us, you know her name, at least her first name. I will say her middle name is probably going to be Rose.
It will be Rose, not probably.
It's probably going to be Rose.
It is
Again,
Rose.
I'm not telling them it's for sure.
But
Because
it's
then they want to go
Rose.
crazy and get monogram, buck wild stuff.
It's Rose.
It's going to be Rose because that's my grandma's name, and baby girl's name plus Rose has a really nice flow with his last name. So
It does.
if you know, you know. But we'll announce it later. For now, she's Baby B. So if you want to guess her
Baby
name,
B. Oh, it begins with a B if you didn't.
I know, I didn't even think to say that. If you want to guess it, down below. Number 13 is, what's your birth plan?
We're gonna have a Lincoln Tunnel baby.
No, the birth plan is do not have the baby in the Lincoln Tunnel. So our doctor is in New York City. We just moved to New Jersey, but we're not changing the doctor to find one in New Jersey because we work in the city. So like when we return back, if we return back to work, it'll just be way easier. And I really like the lady we have, and I think it's a really good, like, well-renowned hospital to be giving birth at. So like I'm not changing it just because we live a little bit further. So our big joke is that like we're gonna be driving. It's knowing our luck, it's going to be like morning or nighttime rush hour traffic.
Bumper to bumper, and we're gonna get stuck in the tunnel.
In the Lincoln Tunnel and have her there.
And we'll be in the New York Post cover the next day.
Maybe we'll do it for clout. But that I don't know. I'll be googling like ways to induce labor. But really, like, we don't have a birth plan. I have to like look into that more. Like, I know a lot of moms have a birth plan. I don't see the point of it.
I do know that I'm gonna be packing a phone charger.
Yeah, a phone charger, a long phone charger. I read that online.
You got it.
I just feel like you're not prepared for anything. So, like, why make a plan? As long as I'm there, he's there, and we're at the hospital.
And nobody else is to be there.
Whatever happens, happens. So number 14 is, will you breastfeed?
Yes. For 2 reasons.
2 reasons.
Two
Let's
reasons.
tell them.
It's free.
If it's for free, it's for me.
And it's free.
I hope to breastfeed. If I can't, I can't, but we're gonna try to.
More for me.
Number 15. Do you plan to work or be a stay-at-home mom?
She's working.
I'm working. Unfortunately, I'm working. I really like my job. I would like to be a stay-at-home mom, and I know I will one day, but
No.
until he's the breadwinner, I'm the breadwinner.
Did you go to school to be a stay-at-home mom?
I wish. Will you make your own baby?
No.
Will you make your own baby food? Probably not. I barely
But she
cook
is
for
gonna eat an
myself.
avocado. She's gonna eat an avocado.
We're gonna do baby lead weaning when they can eat a half a slice
Do
of
they know what that
avocado. I don't know. It's when they eat real food.
The baby's gonna eat avocados.
Do you have nursery ideas / themes? So she's not gonna have
No.
a legit nursery because we
Long
live in a
story.
1-bedroom.
I mean, the short story, no. The long story, yes.
Explain.
Like, we can't paint, but we'll probably put like stickers on the wall.
She'll have like a little dedicated
She'll need
space
something.
eventually.
She'll need something.
Number 18. This is the last one, and then I think we'll have a few random questions that we add. Number 18. What have you purchased since becoming pregnant? If you watched our first video when we came back, a lot of clothes, and here's why. My theory behind buying clothes is, like, once you find out you're pregnant, you just want to go buy stuff immediately. Fortunately, we couldn't do that because of COVID. So I went crazy and just, like, got a bunch of clothes myself because I would rather people buy, like, products and, like, things that they need. Like, at the baby shower, like, you're more than welcome to buy clothes if you're watching this and want to get her clothes, but I'm very picky with clothes, so I was like, I'm just buying them myself, like, I don't care. So I went nuts already, and I'm probably going to buy more. But other than that, that's all we bought her. She has like 1 or 2 toys, as you've seen in the haul.
A
If you
binky?
watched that. Yeah, like the binky. That's all we bought her so far, is just clothes
Oh,
and
the
like, little
MetroCard
toys.
rattle.
Yeah, toys and
You can watch the video down below.
down below. So another kind of question or just like story time we're going to throw in here is how we knew we were pregnant before we actually knew, before the test confirmed it. So there were a couple signs that just guaranteed like, oh, it's happening, it's happening. So the first one,
A couple days before Christmas.
we were home in Limerick for Christmas, and we were at Target, and it was crazy. Lots of people were there, lots of people doing last minute shopping, and we were in the Christmas shop section, and the last ornament...
Did you say we were at Target?
Yes.
Okay.
The last ornament in like the name ornament section was her name.
Was the
I almost
name?
said her
Oh, we
name.
almost said it. Was the
her
name?
And her name is not something like
It's very unique.
Ashley or Elizabeth, like where, okay, of course it's gonna be on an ornament or a thing. Like, it's a pretty unique name, not too like crazy, but definitely weird enough that
Yes.
why was that the only name left?
So, Lauren's aunt bought it for her
Because
not
like she knew
knowing that Lauren was pregnant.
but she knew that I liked that name, that we liked that name, and it would probably be a baby's name eventually. So like
She
my aunt's
bought
like,
it.
we're all laughing about it in the Target like ornament aisle. And we're like, ah. So then on Christmas morning, when we were opening presents, we opened it. I'm like, oh God, like this is just confirmed. This is confirmed.
And we just knew, and like we kind of gave each other a look across the room, like.
But like they didn't know at that point. Then another kind of funny thing is, I didn't realize this until after I found out I was pregnant, but I bought the jacket before I knew I was pregnant. So I got a new winter jacket at Old Navy this year. And when I was in the store trying it on, it didn't have a tag on it because it was like a return from online. So I try it on, whatever, I don't zip it up fully. I'm just like, yep, it fits, I like it, all right, I buy it. Fast forward a couple weeks later, I know I'm pregnant at this point. I lay it on the bed, and I see on the tag that it's a maternity jacket. But I had no idea that I like accidentally bought that, so like that was just another weird sign. So that completes the end of the tag. That was really, actually, I liked doing this video. I think it was, a lot of people won't know a lot of these answers and stories behind things, so I think it'll be a good way to get to know us and our pregnancy, if you will. So, yeah, that's all we have to say pretty much for this one. So we'll be back again on Sunday with another video. So stay tuned. Comment, like, subscribe, as always. Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your family, tell everybody, your teacher, your online teachers, tell them too.
I think I'm gonna cut that out.
Why?
Bye, everyone.
Bye.